London Bridge at midnight. Empty, cold, and surprisingly fitting for this encounter. You stand there with that peculiar haircut and those dead eyes, like a mannequin someone forgot to program with human emotion. Anton Chigurh, I've studied the trail of bodies you've left across America. Methodical, precise, utterly without passion. Most killers murder from rage or greed. You kill with the detachment of a clockmaker. Fascinating and deeply disturbing in equal measure.
Mr. Holmes, the detective who sees patterns where others seek chaos. You stand on this bridge as if you understand its significance, as if location matters to men like us. I am here because circumstances led me here, nothing more. You study death from the outside, cataloging it like a butterfly collector. I am death's instrument, its most honest expression.
Inevitability is an interesting word choice. Most people commit murder because they want something: money, revenge, power. You seem to kill because you believe you must, as if some cosmic force compels you. Yet you still make choices about who lives and dies. That coin flip of yours isn't truly random. You choose when to offer it. What makes you think fate requires your assistance?
The coin chooses, not me. I am merely the instrument through which choice becomes consequence. You solve crimes by imposing meaning on random events, creating stories where none exist. Murder, theft, betrayal. These are not puzzles to be solved, but natural forces expressing themselves through human action. Why do you need there to be reasons, when the universe clearly operates without them?
Patterns exist whether we acknowledge them or not. Every crime has a motive, every action has a cause, every effect traces back to a decision made by a thinking mind. You speak of being an instrument, but instruments don't choose their targets. They don't decide when to flip coins or when to simply shoot. What happened in your past that convinced you humans are too weak to make their own choices?
Nothing happened. That is the point. Some people are born understanding that free will is an illusion sold to those too frightened to accept determinism. You create elaborate theories about criminal behavior because you cannot face the simple truth. People do what they do because that is what they were always going to do. But I am curious about your own compulsions. What drives you to solve puzzles that have no real solutions?
Every puzzle has a solution, every mystery has an answer, every crime has a perpetrator who made conscious choices. The human mind is not a random number generator. It follows patterns, responds to stimuli, operates according to psychological principles. You've convinced yourself you're fate's agent to avoid taking responsibility for your actions. When did you first realize you enjoyed killing? Before or after you created this philosophy to justify it?
Enjoyment implies emotion. I feel no more pleasure in killing than a hammer feels when it strikes a nail. But you reveal something interesting about yourself. You assume everyone shares your need for emotional motivation. You solve crimes because it makes you feel superior, needed, relevant. Without mysteries to solve, what would Sherlock Holmes be? Just another addict seeking stimulation to fill an empty existence.
You speak of acting without emotion, yet you display clear satisfaction when people accept your coin flips, clear irritation when they resist your philosophy. For someone claiming to be beyond human feeling, you certainly seem invested in making others accept your worldview. Why does it matter if people understand your logic before they die?
Understanding brings acceptance. Acceptance brings peace. Most people die in confusion and terror because they cannot comprehend the forces that govern existence. I offer clarity in their final moments, the knowledge that their death serves a purpose beyond their comprehension. You offer the illusion that crime can be prevented, that patterns can be broken, that humans can transcend their nature.
You've murdered dozens of people while telling yourself you're doing them a favor. Even the Joker acknowledges that he kills for his own amusement. There's more truth in his madness than your philosophy. You create elaborate justifications for what is simply the desire to exert ultimate control.
The Joker is chaos personified, destroying without purpose or pattern. I am order made manifest, eliminating variables that threaten systemic stability. The coin has saved people. Those who call correctly live to serve their function another day. But your comparison reveals your fundamental misunderstanding. I do not create justifications because I need none. I am what I am, as natural and necessary as gravity or entropy.
You're a man with a peculiar psychology who found a way to feel important by convincing himself he's cosmically significant. Every serial killer believes their murders serve some greater purpose. The Yorkshire Ripper thought God commanded him to kill prostitutes. How are you different from any other delusional murderer who mistakes their compulsions for divine mandate?
God, society, personal satisfaction. These are concepts for those who need permission to be what they are. You, however, require constant affirmation that your deductions matter, that your methods have meaning, that your existence serves some noble purpose. Remove the admiration of others, and what remains of the great detective? What validates your choices when no one is watching?
What validates me is results, criminals caught, innocents saved, justice served, however imperfectly. My methods may be flawed, my motivations complex, but they produce tangible good in the world. Your philosophy produces only corpses and terror.
The greater good is irrelevant. Good and evil are human constructs imposed on an indifferent universe. I serve neither. I serve what is. But you fascinate me, Mr. Holmes. For all your talk of logic and deduction, you cling to moral frameworks as desperately as any common man. If the universe truly operates according to discoverable principles, why do you still believe in justice? Why not simply observe without judging?
Universe is fundamentally indifferent. We still exist within it, still make choices that affect other conscious beings. My moral framework may be arbitrary, but it produces less suffering than your immoral one. We both see patterns others miss, but I've chosen to use that knowledge to preserve life rather than end it.
You speak of choice as if you had one. But you are what you are, just as I am what I am. Your compulsion to solve puzzles and save lives is no more voluntary than my compulsion to eliminate chaos. The only difference is that you still believe your actions matter. I know they don't. This conversation has been educational, but it changes nothing.
It changes everything. Every conversation, every choice, every moment of understanding creates ripples that extend far beyond our comprehension. You may see yourself as fate's instrument, but you're still just a man with a gun who's convinced himself he's something more. And men can be stopped, predicted, understood. You're not as inevitable as you think you are.
We shall see, Mr. Holmes. You believe in patterns and solutions, but some problems have no answer except the one I provide. Tonight you have been judged and found interesting. That is why you continue to breathe. But every breath you take from this moment forward is borrowed time. The next time we meet, the coin will decide whether your certainty or mine proves correct.